So you want to know more about Houston, where in this video, we're going to cover 19 things you should know before you move to Houston. And we're going to get after it right now. Let's go. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Royce, the luxury boss with the Rolls Royce Luxury Living Team right here in the Houston Metro. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know each and everything about living in the Houston Metro area, make sure you get started right now by clicking on that subscribe button and clicking on that little bell, and that way you get notified each and every time we upload a new video. So I just want to first get started by saying thank you to each and every one of you that's called in and allowed us to start working with you and relocating to the Houston metro area. And so if you're even thinking about relocating to Houston, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, however you want to reach us. But when it comes to relocating to the Houston metro, we've got your back. So getting started with our 19 things that you should know about moving to Houston. And that is, starting off with number 19, Houston is home to Beyonce. Now, there are a lot of other celebrities from Houston, but I figured let's just kick it off with the biggest one, the most celebrated one, and that's Beyonce. Fun fact is I actually went to middle school, go Welsh Warriors, with Beyonce and Kelly Rowland. I didn't really know him a whole lot, but I did know some mutual friends. We did speak to each other a few times, but that's about it. It is what it is. So number 18, the weather's hot here in Houston. And I mean really hot, like hot. Africa hot. But on a more serious note, Houston's in the path of hurricanes and tropical storms. So when moving here, you want to make sure that you create a disaster preparedness plan. And in your plan, you want to address two concerns. And that is, number one, in the event you get separated from your loved ones, where do you plan to meet? And number two, does your house or your apartment have a disaster preparedness kit? So definitely make sure you address those things when you move to Houston. Number 17, bring insect repellent. Keep in mind, Houston is hot, humid, and swampy, and we have mosquitoes. So after it rains, those mosquitoes come out to hunt. And these aren't just the mosquitoes that's, swarming around being very annoying. These mosquitoes carry West Nile virus, and Houston loves an outdoor party. So make sure when you're outdoor partying and barbecuing and swimming and playing with the kiddos that you always stay mosquito safe. Number 16. Houston's big, and I mean really big. As they say, we do things bigger in Texas, and Houston's no exception. The greater Houston metro covers about 9,500 square miles, which is a little bit smaller than the state of Massachusetts, but a little larger than New Jersey. So that vast size offers plenty of room for growth. And in fact, Houston's slated to become the third most populous city, passing up the windy city of Chicago. Number 15, you'll need a car. Now, Houston's a driving city and the traffic is a beast. Now, there's more in the way of light rail and the metro buses, but the public transit system is still way underdeveloped. You're definitely going to need to get around in a car, and preferably one with AC. Like I said, it's very hot here, so you don't want to get caught in traffic while driving in your car, and you don't have AC. If you do, God bless you. Number 14, know how to stay inside the loop. Now in Houston, we have Interstate 610. It's basically a circular loop around the central Houston area. All the good stuff is inside of the 610 loop, such as all your sporting events and a lot of your cultural institutions, such as the museum district. And a lot of times when you're asking for directions in Houston, most people are going to refer to whether the destination is inside or outside of the 610 loop. So if you don't need a large, suburban home with a large backyard and a pool, then maybe living inside or near the 610 loop would be a good area for you. Number 13, Houston doesn't have any zoning laws. Those zoning laws that restrict what type of buildings you can put in a suburban area, like it restricts the height of a building, or it prevents you from being able to put a commercial building right next to a house. Yeah, Houston doesn't have that. Now, it kind of makes for a funky little landscape, but it also helps for a growing city like Houston because it attracts a lot of companies, a lot of corporate organizations, which also attracts a lot of jobs. So it's a funky little mix, but it's kind of one of those things that just helps to make Houston Houston. Number 12, the Houston home prices are great. Houston is the friendliest city in the state of Texas for home buyers, and it ranks among the top 10 most buyer-friendly cities in the U.S. per Zillow. The current median home price is $262,000, and the average home price is $320,000. It's a great time to buy with interest rates being so low, and the market is really great for sellers as well. So it's a perfect storm for everyone. And currently we're experiencing a 28% increase in sales year over year. So again, it's a really great time to buy. Number 11, Houston is the most internationally diverse city in the US. And that's part of what makes it such a great place to live. We have over 90 different cuisines and languages here represented, and that's what makes Houston what it is today.
Mama, you know, you really look good. Have you been losing weight?
Oh, thank you, baby. No, but I'm getting ready to start a new diet. I want a full boy.
Number 10, Houston's a restaurant city. Last year, GQ magazine ranked Houston as America's best food city, as well as the new capital of Southern Cool. And we have over 10,000 restaurants here with over 90 cuisines represented. It's no wonder that Houstonians dine out 6.9 times a week to be exact, versus the national average of 4.9.
Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Number 9, Houston's home to NASA, the Space Center. And that just means that we have plenty to interest space enthusiasts. For all of you Star Trekkies or Star Wars fans out there, we have something for you too.
And you people, you're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
Look,
when you're in Houston, a visit to the Space Center is a must. Trust me, you and your kids and your friends and family are going to simply love it. And you can save money by buying a Houston City Pass and check out other Houston sites that's included in the pass. Number 8, the Texas Medical Center. Now, south of downtown, bordered by the Museum District, Herman Park, and Rice University, the Texas Medical Center is the largest medical complex in the world. The Texas Medical Center is also Houston's second largest employment center with 61 member institutions. Not to mention, it also houses the world famous University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, Baylor College of Medicine, the Texas A&M University Health Science Center, Texas Children's Hospital, and so many others. It's a large complex. It's actually larger than most metropolitan areas or metropolitan downtown areas. Now, number 7, Houston's an education city. I understand most people don't think of Houston as a college town, but we actually house a lot of top-rated universities. The University of Houston is actually recognized as a Tier 1 university and has received an R1 designation from the Carnegie Foundation of the Advancement of Teaching. That's actually designated to the top 3% qualifying universities in the nation. And we also have Rice University, the Ivy League of the South. It's also my wife's alma mater. Rice University is ranked as Texas's top university by U.S. News and World Report, and is actually ranked one of the top 20 universities in the nation. Houston's also home to a lot of great historically black colleges and universities, one of which is my favorite, my alma mater, Prairie View A&M University. Go Panthers, where we produce productive people. And what's that other one? Number 6, Houston's a giving city. Our charitable foundations here rank amongst the top in the U.S. in terms of giving, where we average just under $5 million a year in giving. But more importantly, on a grassroots level, this city gives. We have a big culture here where we take care of each other. Any and every time where there's some type of trial and tribulation that affects us all, the entire city always comes together, whether it's Hurricane Harvey, Katrina from New Orleans, where we took in a lot of those who had to escape Katrina in New Orleans, whether it's Rita, Allison, you name it, we come together in time of need here in Houston. Number 5, coming down the home stretch. Now, Houston's an art city. Most people don't realize that Houston's an art capital. We're one of the few U.S. cities that have resident world-class companies such as in theater, symphony, ballet, and opera. Houston's downtown 17-block theater district houses 8 performing arts organizations. And with more than 12,000 seats for audiences, that's only second to New York City. Number 4, Houston's a sports city. We have 5 professional sports organizations here, with the top 3 being the Houston Texans, the Houston Rockets, and the Houston Astros. It's a great time to be a Houston sports fan. And in Houston, we love bragging about our teams, and we love representing our love for our sports teams. And don't come here talking about the Houston Rockets wouldn't have won a championship if Jordan had retired. Jordan couldn't mess with the Rockets. Look it up. And we don't want to hear, don't even mention anything about the 2017 World Series. It won't end well for you. Number 3, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It's our annual event. It's our largest annual attraction here. And in some ways, it doesn't always feel like in Houston that you live in Texas as much as it feels like it's its own entity. But if you go to the annual rodeo show, you remember what state you're in. Now, a lot of times people who, when they relocate to Houston or they come to visit, they think everyone's riding around on horses and wearing cowboy boots and hats. But it's not like that in Houston. Again, we have our own entity. We're the 4th largest city, and we're a very traditional metropolitan city. But that rodeo is when it's time to turn up and get on down. So my favorite part about the rodeo is the cook-off. You don't want to miss the Texas cook-off. It's basically a cowboy's version of the Freaknik or the Kappa Beach Party. Number 2, Houston has great jobs. It's a great place to work. And Houston's a great place to find a job, especially a high-paying. The Greater Houston Partnership has compiled a long list of studies and reports where Houston ranks number 1 and number 2 in job matters, including best big cities for new grads, best big cities to start your career, and best U.S. metro area for STEM workers. Now, Houston is one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S., and Houston has 8 distinct employment centers specializing in everything from energy to medicine. So the number one thing you need to know about moving to Houston is that we have options. The state of Texas is the 2nd largest state in landmass in the U.S., and Houston is the 4th largest city, but is the number 1 city in the state of Texas. And we're centered around all of the other major metropolitan cities. So for instance, if you want to go to San Antonio and get on the Riverwalk, you can head I-10 west and get there in an hour and a half. If you want to go to Austin, our state capital, you can head 290 and you can get there in 2 hours. If you want to head to Dallas, you can get there off of 45 North and you get there in just at 4 hours. If you want to maybe go down to the beach, depending on where you live in Houston, you can get there anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes to maybe an hour, hour and a half, depending on what side of Houston you live on. Or maybe you just want an entirely different scene. You want to get outside of Texas culture, a different pace, and head on over to New Orleans and Louisiana. We'll just head I-10 east and you'll get there just under 6 hours. So Houston has all the options for you. And we have 2 major airports, so it makes it really good, really easy to get in and out of the state. Well guys, if you lasted this long in the video, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you guys. You really rock. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We upload videos just like this each and every week about all things Houston. And so make sure you click on the subscribe button and click on that little bell, and that way you get notified each and every time we upload a new video. And remember guys, I'm a local realtor here in the area. I love to help you. So if you have any questions or if you're even thinking about relocating to the Houston area, don't hesitate to reach out to us. So just give us a call, send us a text, or shoot an email. However you want to reach us. But when it comes to relocating and moving to the Houston area, we've got your back. And until the next video guys, remember, take care, take charge, and I'll see you at the top. God bless.